Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osmond. Today we'll take a look at a new service for passengers at Daytona Beach International Airport. Fire Chief Jeff Smith will remind us of important fire safety tips, and Volusia County welcomes a new business to the area. In Solutions for Your Life, Joe Sewards will discuss the importance of managing water runoff. Then Here and Now reporter Kendra Lee takes us behind the scenes at an advanced driving course for teens. And finally, joining Community Information Director Dave Byron in the studio for an in-depth interview is Carlos Valderrama, president of the Volusia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Those segments, news, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. Stay tuned. Travelers flying out of Daytona Beach International Airport can now enjoy the convenience of TSA PreCheck, an expedited screening program that enables low-risk travelers to enjoy a more efficient screening experience. Daytona Beach International Airport is the 10th airport in Florida to provide the PreCheck service. The TSA recently announced the start of the program during a news conference at the Volusia County-run airport. Jay Kasens, Director of Business Development at Daytona Beach International Airport, said PreCheck is a great convenient service that allows passengers to go through security quickly.
Well, there are 150 airports across the country that have TSA PreCheck out of approximately 450 commercial airports. Having it here in Daytona is an outstanding service to offer to the customers. Usually TSA PreCheck is associated with much larger airports, so we're one of the smaller ones. The great service about this is that passengers can go quickly through security. They don't have to take off their belt, their shoes, their light coat. They don't have to take their laptop out of their carry-on. They can just proceed right through. It's a very quick and seamless process. It's definitely something that we can use also in recruiting new airlines to the airport.
Participating airlines at Daytona Beach International Airport are Delta, American, and JetBlue. The TSA PreCheck application process allows American citizens and lawful permanent residents to go through a pre-enrollment process online at tsa.gov and then visit an application center to be fingerprinted, provide a government-issued ID, a U.S. passport, a U.S. birth certificate or valid immigration documentation, and pay an application fee of $85 for a 5-year membership. Kaysen said Daytona Beach International Airport is in the process of becoming a TSA PreCheck application center.
The second step of the TSA PreCheck process is getting the enrollment center located at the airport. So we'll only be the 4th airport in the state of Florida to have both the TSA PreCheck and enrollment center at the airport, which is a huge deal to us. The other airports being Orlando, Tampa, and Miami.
Once an application is approved, passengers receive a known traveler number and will have the opportunity to use TSA PreCheck lanes at security checkpoints at participating airports with the security clearance embedded in the barcode of the passenger's boarding pass.
The airport actually worked with us and asked us if they could have the program here, and we certainly were happy to be able to bring the program here. It's a great partnership, and it makes it more convenient for the passenger. We want people to know that everybody is screened, all of their belongings are screened. It's just an expedited program that allows us to expedite your process on that day, and it gives us and our officers more time to focus on those who might present the threat to the aviation system.
More than 1.5 million travelers have enrolled nationwide since the TSA opened its first application center in December of 2013. To learn more about TSA PreCheck, you can visit tsa.gov/TSA-PreCheck. For information about Daytona Beach International Airport, you can go online to flydaytonafirst.com. October 4th through 10th is a great time to brush up on fire prevention tips. Fire Safety Week was established to commemorate the Great Chicago Fire that killed 250 people, destroyed more than 17,000 structures, and left 100,000 people homeless on October 8th and 9th in 1871. Locally, the firefighters with Volusia County's Fire Rescue are urging residents to take home fire safety seriously.
Our number one message this week is smoke detectors save lives, and we want our folks, our public, to recognize the importance of having a working smoke detector in their house, certainly several if they can find placement for them. And what we'd really like to see is that they place them outside the sleeping areas or inside the bedrooms, and that they also have a smoke detector on every floor of the house, if possible. Once a smoke alarm has sounded, you have roughly 2 minutes to escape the structure. And folks should be trained, or at least they should go through exit drills in the home. Once they hear that noise, you know, it's just like the old fire alarm at the school. You exit orderly and you go to the collection point where you need to be. That way the family knows exactly everyone made it out safely. When we arrive on the scene, we know that folks are safe and we don't have to worry about looking for someone that's not there.
Cold weather is right around the corner, and it is wise to remember important safety precautions when heating your home.
You know, in Florida, we don't get the cold weather very often, but when we do, we like to get into the spirit. So we just ask that people be very wise with their fire and their heating sources. Same thing with candles and things like that. Let's make sure we leave them burning while we're there watching them, and we don't walk away and leave them unattended.
For more home fire safety tips, go online to volusia.org/fire-rescue. Announcing a big win for economic development in Volusia County. Total Quality Logistics, one of the largest freight brokerage firms in the country, has announced plans to open a location in Daytona Beach. Total Quality Logistics, also called TQL, is headquartered in Cincinnati. The Daytona Beach office will be at the Wells Fargo building at 130 North Ridgewood Avenue. It's the company's 5th location in Florida.
TQL, or Total Quality Logistics, is a freight brokerage company. We started in 1997, just 2 individuals, and we are an intermediary, meaning we don't own assets, we don't own the trucks, but we find trucks for companies that are moving mostly truckload freight. We do some less than truckload, but mostly truckload freight. So we are, negotiating rates with a shipper who needs to move a load from point A to point B, and then we're finding a truck, a quality truck and driver to move that load, and we're negotiating that side of the transaction as well, and then we're making sure that that it gets picked up on time and delivers on time, and take care of anything in between.
TQL's expansion into Volusia County was made possible by partnerships between Enterprise Florida, Florida Department of Economic Opportunity, Career Source Flagler Volusia, Volusia County, and Team Volusia Economic Development Corporation. Team Volusia began recruiting the company in 2014 and proposed buildings throughout Volusia County. Daytona Beach was chosen because of the workforce availability. TQL Daytona Beach is expected to create 100 jobs and make a capital investment of $600,000.
Companies come where they can hire people for their facility. So we're very proud that the company chose a Volusia County location based on our availability of trained labor. So that was one of the reasons they chose a location here in Volusia County and expanded to this county in Florida. But another reason they located was the availability of buildings.
The Volusia County Council approved a $60,000 local match for the Qualified Target Industry Refund Program, which will assist TQL with its expansion to Volusia County. The incentive is available for companies that create high-wage jobs in targeted high-value added industries.
We applaud Volusia County Council for being aggressive and progressive in issuing that local match so that the company would decide on a Florida location and a location in Volusia County.
The average annual wage at TQL is $38,606. The company employs nearly 650 people throughout Florida and is a 10-time honoree of Inc. magazine's 5,000 fastest growing companies. Joe Seward's IFAS Extension Agent in Volusia County discusses the importance of managing water runoff and presents a rainwater collection system that was recently installed at the Agricultural Center.
Hi, I'm Joe Sewards and welcome to Solutions for Your Life. Here at the University of Florida Extension in Volusia County, we're all about being Florida friendly in our landscaping practices. One of the 9 principles is learning how to control or reduce stormwater runoff. We've gotten a creative solution here at the Extension office. As you can see here behind me, we have an arbor that we've built thanks to the folks at Evolving Landscapes. It's not done yet, but they came up with a very creative way of dealing with stormwater runoff that's coming from our roof here. And what we did is we put up a gutter, and that's catching the runoff from the roof, and we've run it behind, or within I should say, this arbor. And as you can see, it's coming out here, and we have a rain chain. So the water is coming down the rain chain, it hits rocks, it goes through this dry creek bed and into the basin of our rain garden. And as you can see, the rain garden is surrounded by a number of different plants that like wet conditions from time to time. And it's a very creative, simple, and beautiful way to deal with excess stormwater runoff on your property. Rather than trying to get the water off of your property as quickly as possible, one of the things we do in Florida-friendly landscaping is find ways to keep the water on your property. That gives nature an opportunity to filter out pollutants and other contaminants from the rainwater, keeping them out of our water resources and keeping our waters cleaner. A rain garden is functional, it's beautiful, and as I say, this is a creative way of dealing with it. So you want to try to find creative ways of dealing with it on your property. If you have questions about Florida-friendly landscaping and how to create your own rain garden, you can visit us here at the Volusia County Extension Office. We're on East New York Avenue, 3100 East New York Avenue in DeLand. You can give us a call at area code 386-822-5778, or you can visit us on the web at volusia.org/extension. We can provide you with information and handouts from the University of Florida about Florida-friendly landscaping in general, each of the 9 principles, or about reducing stormwater runoff specifically. So coming up with creative solutions for dealing with stormwater runoff is a fun way to add an interesting feature to almost any landscape. For Solutions for Your Life, I'm Joe Sewards.
As for many teen drivers, it's not easy to feel confident behind the wheel. Reporter Kendra Lee introduces an advanced driving course in this week's Volusia Here and Now to get teens ready for the road.
Driving is one of the most dangerous things we do every day. In fact, chances are that in a 12-hour period in the state of Florida, 3 teenage drivers will die every day. For that reason, the Teen Driver Challenge was created by the Florida Sheriff's Association.
The Teen Driving Challenge is open up to licensed drivers that are 16, 17 years old, and we put them through a series of road exercises. We have a classroom portion that lasts 2 hours, and we show them some videos about the driving course that we're going to run them through.
Wallace says this 8-hour course teaches teens how to prevent crashes through defensive driving techniques and evasive maneuvers they may never have the opportunity to practice without the Teen Driver Challenge course.
A lot of them are doing things that they might not ever do in a car because we're inducing those situations. And it's a good learning experience for them because it's hands-on. You can watch a lot of videos, but until you get in the car and feel what happens, especially when we allow them to induce themselves into a slide or a skid with our car and recover from that, that's a confidence builder that they need to have.
The advanced driving course includes a sharp curved serpentine track with cones, an emergency lane change exercise, threshold braking, forward and backward serpentine course practice, corner exercises, and to finish the course, students will enter a sheriff office vehicle equipped with easy drift rings on the wheels to stimulate an uncontrolled skid to learn proper recovery methods.
And we demonstrate all these exercises before they do them, have them ride with us so that they see what we're doing with our hands, where the vehicle is when we set up for the turn, set up for stopping, and then we put them out on the course themselves. We require they bring their own vehicles because that's what they're driving day to day, and it wouldn't be fair to them to go through this entire course in a car that they've never driven before or won't drive again, and then leave here. They've learned some skills, but they don't know how to apply it to their own vehicles, so it works much better with their own car.
We're going through the Serpentine course right now, and you can do this exact same thing November 13th for the Teen Driver Challenge with the Volusia County Sheriff's Office. By registering for the challenge, teens become more informed, safer, and efficient drivers. Walsh tells us some students aren't sure of their confidence level behind the wheel coming into the challenge, but leave with the skills and confidence it takes to be a safer driver on the road.
Some of them come in here and they're scared to death because they're brand new drivers. And then when they leave, they're way more confident than they were when they arrived. All of them seem to take away something. I think the biggest thing that they take away from is the way their car handles when they have to do an emergency braking or lane change. They have more confidence in what their car can do and what they can do with it.
To get registered today, call the Sheriff's Training Office Division at 386-239-6522. Be sure to have proof of a valid driver's license, not a learner's permit, proof of a valid registration, and be prepared to fill out some paperwork for the course available online at volusiasheriff.org/teen driving. For Volusia Here and Now, I'm Kendra Lee.
Time now to head into the studio to join our very own Community Information Director, Dave Byron, with his guest, Carlos Valderrama, President of the Volusia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
Well, thank you, Amber, and hi, everyone. The Hispanic population is the fastest growing in the United States, and it is here in Volusia County. It's the role of the Hispanic Chamber of Volusia County to meet the needs of the business side of the Hispanic population in Volusia County. And we're very pleased to have with us in the studio today Carlos Valderrama. He's the president of the Hispanic Chamber of Volusia County. Carlos, how you doing today?
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for the opportunity.
Hey, we've wanted to talk with you for quite some time, so thanks for being with us. We haven't talked with you before. Let's talk about the Hispanic population in general. We know that it's the fastest growing segment of the U.S. population, and stands to reason it is in Central Florida and in Volusia County. You see that growing influence, I would think.
Yes, definitely see that growing, in more particular in the west of Volusia County, and nationally also there's a great growth of the Hispanic population.
How do you see that changing things in Volusia County, or do you see any change in Volusia County?
We're starting to see a lot of change, and more so in the calls that we receive of entrepreneurs and trying to open up their businesses.
Right.
We're starting to see the influence because it was focused mostly concentrated in the west side of Volusia County, but now we're starting to see a lot of calls coming from the east side of Volusia County. So when we do activities, events in the east side of Volusia County, we see a great attendance and support from that community.
Yeah, I think you're based in Deltona, correct?
Yes, correct.
But you are a county-wide chamber in nature.
Yes, we are.
So let's talk about the role of your chamber. What is it specifically that you're doing, I suppose, to meet the needs of Hispanic entrepreneurs?
Yes, and in a nutshell, it's basically on our mission states that we are the advocate for the success of the Hispanic community. But also we want to become the expert on culture, experts in engaging in for the non-Hispanics businesses that want to reach that market.
Mm-hmm. Where in general are the Hispanics coming from? Are they coming from Puerto Rico or South America? Mexico? Where are they coming from?
In Central Florida, there's the majority of the Hispanic groups are Puerto Ricans.
Okay.
Next to that, we're seeing a lot of Colombians and we see a lot of Venezuelans. From that, of course, and then the third group will be a lot of South American. The Cuban population we see, of course, not as great as they will be in the Miami area, but we're starting to see a lot of Cubans in the area also.
A lot of them moving north, migrating north.
Yes.
Which is true generally. A lot of people moving out of South Florida. Hey, I got to ask you. You just mentioned Cuba. I know that that your chamber is leading an export mission to Cuba.
Correct.
A lot of excitement over I guess the possibilities between Cuba, U.S. tourism, trade, so forth. What do you see on the horizon with what's happening in the Cuba and U.S. relations?
I hope it's going to be a positive one. We are definitely going there. We've been planning this since last year, and we don't know exactly what the situation might have been. And luckily now there's an embassy in place. There's a couple of things are starting to develop, and I think it will be an opportunity for those that are the delegates that are attending with us, the opportunity to really get to see directly within their eyes what the possibilities could be.
Right. So basically, what I'm hearing you say is that you're going to go over there and learn and see what we can what we can develop.
Yes, we have partnered up with the Havana's Chamber of Commerce. They're helping us along the way. As a matter of fact, on that trade mission, there is one of the largest trade expos in Havana. So the delegates that are attending, it's not just to see the opportunities for Cuba, but also there's 26 countries representing at that time.
Right.
So there's the opportunities to see and participate and possibly in exchange some trade with the other countries that are represented in that area.
Of course, in general, Latin America is a very, very big trade partnership for Florida.
Yes, and in the past we have participated with Enterprise Florida to Peru. We're planning to do one to Panama, maybe the following year. So Latin America, I think that because we know the culture, we know the language, I think hopefully the manufacturers or products or services that are here, they're able to come along with us on these trade missions.
You know, one of the things, Carlos, you were saying before we started taping is there's some economic difficulty these days in Puerto Rico, and as a result, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business people and so forth are moving from Puerto Rico to the United States, Florida in particular. What do you see the potential from that, Carlos?
The individuals, the people that are leaving Puerto Rico, we're starting to see a lot of professionals coming into the area, which means that I believe that these individuals or professionals, they're very skilled. They're bilingual. And that's one thing that I think there'll be a benefit for our market because it's good to learn the two languages.
Sure, absolutely. Now your chamber, I think, is what, upwards of like 200 members now?
Yes, correct.
And you've been at it for 4 years, so you've seen some pretty steady growth in the 4 years that the chamber's been in existence.
Yes, and we're fortunate to have partnership with other organizations and other entities, and we look forward to continue that dialogue into bring awareness and resources to that community.
And one of the things that I think you're doing, as I understand it, doing a little research here, is you're developing partnerships with Stetson, Bethune-Cookman, the other universities in Volusia County, which seems like a very natural tie-in for a Hispanic chamber.
Yes, and we talked about retention. When we talk to these universities, we talk about retaining these students, skilled students. So we're creating some pilot programs right now. I can't define it specifically, but we're going to announce it fairly soon about these partnerships they're working on. I think they will benefit the manufacturers community or business community because now they'll be able to export the products internationally. So that's one of the partnerships they're working with Stetson, and with Bethune, we're always trying to create, empower the business owner, creating resources for them at the same time, develop the students to learn more about the business, international business.
Well, and obviously, if you develop a relationship with the college students and they want to become entrepreneurs, I guess the best thing is they can stay right here in Volusia County and be successful.
Definitely.
So if I'm a business out there, Carlos, you know, what sort of services can I get from your chamber that would encourage me to become a member of your chamber?
We believe that I think we provide something unique to being a member of the Chamber of Commerce. You know, we don't want to be a chamber. I think that we provide these opportunities, especially more to expand globally. I think that we believe that the Chamber of Commerce, now your competition is not next door. The competition is not globally now.
That's right.
So want to provide the resources, the tools in order for you to expand your businesses. And at the same time, we embrace technology. If you are a member, we have tools of technology that could market your business at a national level, even international level. And of course, we're very community oriented. Yes, we try to help the business at a global scale, but at the same time, having the roots of the community sense. And we participate in a lot of community activity at the same time also.
So obviously, cultural diversity,
Yes.
one of the goals, I suppose, of the chamber.
Yes, and be surprised. The assumption is that most of our members are Hispanics. And honestly, a lot of our members are 50-50, are
Sure.
non-Hispanics. And because they feel that there's a huge buying power of the Hispanic market.
No question.
So we don't try to, we're not a social group. We don't try to disagree anyone.
Right.
So it's welcome, everyone's, in our events, our networks, everything's done in English.
Sure.
So everyone's definitely welcome to.
Well, I got to ask you about one thing before I let you go, and that is of course, Daytona Beach International Airport is trying to work with American Airlines and any other airline out there that will listen about service to South Florida, perhaps even to the Caribbean, Latin America, and so forth. And you're there helping us out on that.
Yes, and once again, I'm an advocate about Volusia County everywhere I go. I try to bring awareness to our community. We're working with some foreign investors right now and trying to convince them to hopefully open up the business in our own backyard.
Right.
So we're out there trying to push Volusia County, Volusia County, Volusia County.
Well, if there are folks out there now that they've listened to this that maybe would like to get some more information about your chamber, perhaps meet you, have a presentation or whatever, how do people get more information?
Oh, they could just visit our website, which is volusiachamber.org, or they could just give us a call directly at 386-626-4264. That's definitely a way to communicate with us.
Well, Carlos, I want to thank you for sharing the information with us. As we said, the Hispanic demographic is growing rapidly in the U.S. as it is here in Volusia County. So it looks like you're in the right place at the right time.
Well, thank you for allowing me to share that information with everyone.
Our guest today, Carlos Valderrama. He's president of the Hispanic Chamber of Volusia County. And with that, Amber, we'll go back to you.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council's meeting calendar there too. In fact, you can use volusia.org to find about workshops, meeting dates, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. And finally, it's a bittersweet moment for everyone that works with us here at Volusia Magazine. The show's editor, videographer, producer, and our friend, Andrew Cardona, is retiring, and this is his last program. Be safe, Andrew, and I hope you enjoy your retirement. We're going to miss you. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osmond. Have a wonderful evening.